Unimaginable. Right now, there are families like Nahal's waiting, longing for any bit of hope that they're missing, and kidnapped sons and daughters, mothers and fathers will make it out of captivity alive. As we learn more about the horrific crimes committed by Hamas terrorists, Israeli soldiers on the front lines, they are now telling of the horror of vicious beheadings of babies, bodies burned inside of homes, showing just how cruel and savage Hamas is. Joining us right now, NewsNation national security contributor and former CIA officer Tracy Walder. Tracy, there are reports that in Ukraine, the FBI assisted in collecting and documenting evidence of war crimes as part of their investigations, even though Putin and Russia will never be tried. Will the FBI be involved, do you think, with an ally like Israel in investigating some of these atrocities?
Well, thank you for having me. Yes, most likely they will, because we have to remember, I've tried to be very measured in my response to this, but the reality is, and I think something that doesn't get talked about enough, is Hamas was designated as a terrorist group by the United States and is still on our State Department list on October 8th, 1997. So the reality is they're not going to be tried necessarily for war crimes. They don't technically govern a state. They are a foreign terrorist entity.
But the fact that Hamas has been caught on video, I mean, we have social media posts by the killers themselves after the murders they've committed, using their victims' Facebook profile to post the video of that horror. Will they ever be held accountable? Is there a way to do that?
Gosh, that's such a hard question to answer, Adrienne. Yes and no, because the problem is technically, do they preside over, this Gaza, this land of Gaza? Yes, they do. And their chief is currently underground. And so I would imagine that the hunt is probably on for him right now. And he will face justice, obviously, if he is caught. I think the problem is Hamas does span countries and continents. That's part of the issue here. They're not just in Gaza. So it's going to be very hard to bring certain individuals to justice. Obviously, I hope that they are. The Israelis deserve that and the victims deserve that. But I think it's going to be very, very difficult because in a way, we're hunting them now, or Israel's hunting them now in the very same way that we're hunting members of ISIS and Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, but we have hostage negotiators with the FBI, with the CIA. You have experience there. Special forces reportedly heading to Israel and near Europe to be in position in the hopes that these hostages are freed. But how do you negotiate with terrorists?
That's a very hard one. I was part of the work that we did with Daniel Pearl, the journalist in Pakistan who was ultimately executed, and I thought we were getting somewhere with him, but Al-Qaeda flipped the switch on us, or flipped the script on us. And I'm concerned here because we're dealing with well over 100 hostages. And in the past, when Hamas has engaged in this behavior, it's been sort of one or two or members of the Israeli military that they've taken into custody. And as a result, we've been able, or Israel's been able to negotiate through that. This is very different because they're either going to work by negotiating their release one at a time, or it's going to be sort of a mass release. But they're under the clock here because Israel, my guess is, has a response, has a military response to Gaza, and we need to get those hostages out so that they don't become victims of that.
In the past, when we've had terror happen around the world, there's been a concern for copycats here in the United States. What's the FBI or the CIA doing right now to prevent anything happening on U.S. soil?
Well, I believe President Biden sort of mentioned that a little bit in his speech yesterday. And so I do know that synagogues, Jewish community centers, and I'm also assuming mosques the same way, do have heightened security. I know my daughter's Sunday school was again canceled yesterday out of abundance of caution. And so I do think we're going to continue seeing things like that. The FBI's domestic terrorism squads are probably monitoring any threats that they're seeing, as well as working with members of Israeli intelligence, quite frankly, for any issues that they're tracking here in the United States.
Tracy Walder, thank you as always for your insights. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Adrienne.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.